Assalamu alaikum. Hi, Oracle Reiki spiritual healer. And we are talking to our parents today. We're talking to you guys again because there are some beliefs that you might understand that the elders were speaking to you, and maybe you did not know why they were saying these things to you. So we want to make sure that they are not old wives' tales, all of the things that the elders were saying to you. And this goes specifically for you to be able to take care of your children, and so that they do not have a negative spirit attached to them as they grow up. So, let's get into this, because I've had a couple of people, that I've had to tell the truth, and they didn't really believe me what I was saying. So, a lot of our mothers had an understanding that when you have a baby, and before that child gets to be a year old, there's certain things you do not do with that child, because it will attach these negative entities to the child. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is when a child has, long fingernails and they're babies, they're under a year old, you do not use tools in order to clip their fingernails. You will have to use other means. You will have to bite those nails off, those little nails, because using those clippers, using the snippers, will attach a negative energy to the child, where they will steal and they will, pick up things that's not theirs. They will, be labeled as thieves, and many times they will go to jail for harming people, telling lies. And my mother used to always say that she hates a liar and she hates a thief. If you'll lie, you'll steal, you'll kill. So these are the understandings, is why you do not cut a child's nails with snippers or any kind of tool before they are a year old. Okay? Because it gives them that negative attachment to pick up and take things that do not belong to them. Okay? So we have that understanding, and I have been talking to the young women. I have been talking to the young ladies. And I had to, let them know that these are not old wives' tales. These are, facts. These are truths that you want to wait before you do certain things before your child has reached a year old. Okay? So, again, I remember when I was younger, and, like I say, I used to could tell when people were pregnant, and my mother would tell me to be quiet, or she would make me shut up, because she said I was shining too bright. So in many times, especially for male children, and this goes especially for male children, you want to make sure that you do not cut their hair before they're a year old. You do not cut their hair, because, it makes them, less strong. It makes them, really lackadaisical. It makes them, their strength. It takes their strength away from them. So you do not want to cut your baby's hair before they're a year old, especially if they're a male. We don't have to worry about that with females. But for the females, you do not want to put anything that false hair. You do not want to, put any of that negative glue or anything on your baby girl's head, on the child's head, that's false, because it's going to cause her to have, to be weak as well, and have problems with her hormone imbalance. So I wanted to bring these types of things to you when you are dealing with your children, when you are having different kinds of mental issues or physical issues with your children, those types of attachments can be cast out. Those types of attachments can be prayed for. And we can spiritually heal the situation before those types of attachments reach the age with that child of 12 and over. Once they go over 12 years old, then they have to ask to be cleansed. They have to want to be that negative energy to be removed from themselves. Okay, so that means that we have an understanding that your child, when they are over the age of 12, then they know what they are doing and they are held accountable for certain things, especially if they have been taught by the parents. We should start teaching our children at a very young age for certain things, especially about boys, getting pregnant, married. But in this specific situation, we are talking about these attachments, autism, schizophrenia, cerebral palsy, those types of things, physical ailments. I have some people that I deal with on a regular basis that have had, strokes as a child, that had aneurysms as a child. So, we have these types of attachments as well, that we can cleanse this type of negative energy. And in many cases, when I talk to these types of people, then they have family members, mothers, fathers, grandparents that were either using black magic in their lineage, or they were in proximity to a family member. The mother or the father was using those types of attacks on people or inside the home. And those types of attacks, it can be relieved, it can be alleviated, so that we don't have that generational curse going over into another generation. And I wanted to give you these types of information because again, when you're having the children, when you're having the babies that have that coat in their mouth, the thrash, that's what they called it, the thrash. So there are certain remedies that we can use in order to cleanse that kind of thrash in the baby's mouth, where they have that white coating in their mouth. And I'm not going to give you that one. You can reach out to me. And I can help you to heal that kind of negative energy that comes with being a new parent, that comes with having children. The thrash, the cradle cap. When you have the cradle cap, with the children, that's a thick, scaly, it's a thick, scaly kind of skin that necessitates the scalp for children, and you're able to cleanse this type of negative energy. Again, you'll have to reach out to me for the thrash and the cradle cap, so that I can help you heal these types of ailments that necessitate new parents and children. So, we have a lot of different things for our children. We have a lot of different ways that we heal the children. But when we have a lot of these attachments, these attacks, where people have been using the witchcraft, whether it's a mother or father, we can always use an egg cleanse on the child and make sure that, we return to sender, throw that back to where that person has sent that negative attachment upon our children. So we want to make sure that we're cleansing ourselves, and we have the spiritual healing and the remedies and rituals that our ancestors had in order to cleanse these types of negative energy in our lives. And you can reach out to me at any time in the description below in order to book your consultation with me, in order to book your life coaching sessions or your video chat sessions. You can also donate to my channel. I'm High Oracle, Reiki Spiritual Healer. Assalamu alaikum.